Welcome to Zoe Stories. Estrogen surprise changed me. My name is Evan Reyes, and if you met me yesterday, you would have never guessed the truth about me. 26 years old. Software technician. Quiet. Polite. Invisible. And definitely not the kind of guy anyone expects to keep a secret like mine. I lived a very controlled life. Wake up at 7, work from 9 to 5, come home, cook, maybe play games, and pretend that everything inside me wasn't shaking apart. The truth was, my reflection had never felt like my own, and cross-dressing wasn't just a hobby for me. It was the closest I had ever come to breathing freely. But no one knew. Not my coworkers. Not my friends. And definitely not my girlfriend, Isabella. Isabella? God. Even saying her name felt like a soft breeze brushing across my skin. She was confident where I was unsure, bold where I was cautious, glowing where I was dim. She walked into every room like she owned the air inside it. She was the girl who made people turn their heads without trying, and the girl who somehow chose me. But there was one thing I could never tell her. That every night, after she fell asleep or went out with her friends, I quietly slipped into the version of myself I didn't have the courage to show her. The version of me that wore stockings, lip gloss, a soft wig with chestnut curls, and dresses that made my heart pound like an electric current. Tonight was supposed to be normal, just another evening alone while Isabella worked her late shift at the hospital. She had kissed my cheek before leaving, telling me not to wait up. Her perfume lingered long after she walked out the door, and my mind spun with the usual mixture of love and guilt. Because the moment the door clicked shut, I felt the familiar rush inside my chest. Freedom. Temptation. Fear. My small apartment was dimly lit, warm, safe, my sanctuary. Outside, the city hummed with its usual chaos, cars rushing past, distant voices echoing through the hallways. But in here, it was just me and the secret I carried like a second heartbeat. I walked into the bedroom, opened my side of the closet, and reached behind my jackets where I kept everything hidden. A shoebox, a makeup bag, a carefully folded outfit wrapped in soft tissue paper. My hands trembled the way they always did, part excitement, part terror that one day all of this would catch up to me. But tonight felt different. Heavier. Charged. Maybe because the guilt had been building for months. Maybe because Isabella had been more distant lately. Maybe because a part of me was starting to break under the weight of hiding. Or maybe because of what I found earlier this week. A small bottle of estrogen tablets in Isabella's drawer. At first I thought it belonged to a patient. Or maybe a friend. But the label didn't have a pharmacy logo. No prescription. Just a pink sticker, handwritten. For confidence. It made no sense, but it wouldn't leave my mind. And tonight, as I sat on the edge of the bed, staring at my reflection in the mirror, my thoughts spiraled again. Who was I? And how long could I keep living two lives? My reflection looked back at me with tired eyes, eyes that had spent too long trying to be someone they weren't. I slowly tied my hair back, preparing for my usual routine, when my phone buzzed. A message from Isabella. I'll be home late. Don't wait up. Perfect. The words unlocked something inside me. I laid the outfit on the bed. A soft pastel dress I had bought online under a fake account, a pair of nude heels, and the silky wig that always made me smile. As I slipped out of my regular clothes, a strange mixture of shame and relief washed over me. The cotton dress slid over my skin like a whisper, the hem brushing my thighs. My pulse quickened. My breathing softened. Every part of me loosened, relaxed, and came alive. I applied foundation carefully, blending in slow strokes. A touch of blush. Shimmering eyeshadow. A glossy pink lip. The transformation wasn't perfect, but it felt real. It felt me. And yet something felt off tonight. It was a heaviness in my chest. A strange electricity beneath my skin, a sense that the ground beneath my feet was shifting, even if I didn't know why. I sat by the mirror, admiring my reflection, but fighting the rising anxiety inside me. What if Isabella came home early? What if she found out? What if everything fell apart? My eyes drifted to the dresser drawer, The one where she kept the estrogen bottle. I swallowed. For me, cross-dressing had always been emotional, psychological, but never physical. I never imagined hormones, never imagined a world where I looked more feminine even without the clothes. But the thought tugged at me, whispered to me, dared me. I shook my head. No. That wasn't me. I wasn't trying to become someone else permanently. This was just expression. Just exploration. Just. My heart stopped. The doorknob rattled. I froze. My breath caught in my throat. My lipstick shook in my hand. No. She wasn't supposed to be home. Not now. Not like this. But the door didn't open. Just the sound. Like someone testing it. Like someone gently checking if it was locked. My entire body trembled. Was it Isabella? A neighbor? A stranger? I stepped back from the mirror, heartbeat thundering in my ears, heels unsteady beneath me. Then, silence. A long, suffocating silence. I didn't move. I couldn't. My heart was pounding so loud it felt like it echoed off the walls. And then, slowly, the realization hit me. Tonight wasn't going to be like the others. Something had shifted. Something had begun. And, whatever happened next, my life would never be the same. The soft tapping at the door wouldn't stop echoing in my head, even after Lila finally walked away. She stayed there for almost a full minute, calling my name once, then twice, then sighing in confusion before her footsteps faded down the hallway. But even long after she left, the damage was done. I stood in the middle of my bedroom like someone whose life had just been split clean in half. One half, the normal me. Male. Quiet. Predictable. The Evan everyone expected. The other half. The one I had been trying to suffocate for years. The one wearing a pastel dress, glossy lips, and shaking in a pair of heels. My heels clicked softly as I walked back to the mirror. The girl looking back at me wasn't perfect. Not polished. Not fully passing. But real. Too real. My heartbeat hadn't slowed since the door rattled earlier. My chest felt warm. My skin felt sensitive, almost buzzing. Every inhale felt deeper. Every exhale softer. I pressed a hand to my sternum, trying to calm myself. What's happening to me? Fear, but not just fear. A strange pull too. A shift. A softness. A warmth that didn't feel like panic. Maybe I'm just stressed, I whispered. But no. It was deeper than stress. My body felt different. I brushed my fingers over my collarbone, then my shoulder, then my waist. Everything felt more sensitive. More alive. Like the nerves beneath my skin had woken up. I shook the feeling off and tried to focus. First step. I needed to change out of the dress. This was dangerous. Too risky. Isabella's best friend came to the door unannounced. That alone was enough to send any crossdresser into survival mode. But I didn't move. My eyes kept drifting back to the dresser drawer. The estrogen bottle. The pink label. The words for confidence. Earlier I could pretend that maybe it wasn't meaningful. Maybe it belonged to someone else. Maybe it wasn't what it looked like. Now? After Lila showed up? After Isabella sent her without warning? No. This wasn't coincidence. I walked slowly to the dresser and lifted the bottle again. The sound of the pills shifting inside made my stomach twist. I rolled one tablet into my hand and stared at it. Small. White. Faint vanilla smell. Not normal. Not standard. Not something you'd buy at a real pharmacy. My breath hitched. Isabella, what are you doing? Every part of me tightened. She was hiding something. Something connected to these pills. Something connected to me. Was she testing me? Setting a trap? Preparing for a conversation she didn't know how to start? Or had she already seen something? Did she see the edge of the wig in the laundry last month when I panicked and shoved everything under the bed? Did she notice her lipstick slightly flattened after I borrowed it one night? Did she see a makeup wipe in the trash? My hands trembled. Oh God, has she known this whole time? The thought made my knees weak. Because if she knew, then the estrogen bottle wasn't an accident. It was a message. A push. A clue. Some days, Isabella looked at me like she was trying to understand something about me that I wasn't ready to admit. Some days, she looked like she was waiting for me to say the words myself. I didn't know whether that was comforting or terrifying. I set the pill back in the bottle and screwed the cap on quickly, too quickly. It slipped from my fingers and clattered loudly onto the floor. I gasped and dropped to my knees, scrambling to pick it up. "Heels off," I whispered, yanking them off. I needed to move fast, quietly, safely. But as I reached for the bottle, something strange happened. A wave washed through my body.
Warm.
Heavy.
Deep.
Like every nerve under my skin vibrated all at once. I froze, hands hovering over the carpet. What was that? My breaths came out shallow. My chest tingled. My skin felt electric. My heart thudded against my ribs. Too hard, too fast. I staggered to my feet and grabbed the edge of the bed to steady myself. Focus. Focus. I swallowed and walked shakily to the bathroom. I needed to see myself under bright light. I needed to know I wasn't imagining this. The moment I turned on the bathroom light, I inhaled sharply. My pupils were slightly dilated. My cheeks looked flushed. My eyes softer? I blinked several times. No, that had to be the makeup.
Right?
Just the makeup. I leaned closer. My skin looked smoother. My lips looked fuller, even though I had barely added gloss. What is happening to me? I touched my collarbone again. Electric.
Alive.
My breathing shook. Could I have accidentally absorbed something? Could touching the bottle have done something? Was I imagining it? Placebo? Adrenaline?
Or no.
No way. Hormones don't work like that. Not instantly. Not magically. Unless these weren't normal hormones. The thought sent a shiver down my spine. My eyes drifted back to the mirror. The girl staring back looked more startled than ever, frightened, excited, confused, alive. "I need answers," I whispered. But answers meant talking to Isabella. And I wasn't ready. Not like this. Not tonight. My phone buzzed again on the counter. A text from her. "Miss you. Be home in a bit." I stared at the message, chest tightening. How soon is a bit? Minutes? An hour? Less? Panic stabbed through me. I needed to choose. Take everything off.
Or
embrace the risk. Part of me whispered for safety. For normalcy. For disappearing again. But another voice, one I'd spent years ignoring, rose stronger. "Don't hide. Not this time." My hands shook as I turned back toward the mirror. I wasn't ready, but for the first time, I wanted to be. I stood in front of the mirror far longer than I meant to, watching the girl looking back as if she were someone else. She wasn't perfect. She wasn't polished. But she was there.
alive.
Visible. Undeniably feminine. Every time I blinked, a different emotion washed over me. Fear, curiosity, longing, panic. I kept clutching the counter, as if letting go would make me collapse under the weight of it all. The room felt too warm, too intimate, too honest. My legs trembled, not from the heels, I had taken them off, but from the truth settling in my chest. I didn't want to change back. Not yet. Not tonight. That realization alone felt like stepping off a cliff. I pressed my palms to my cheeks, feeling the light heat there, the soft glow of the makeup. The wig's curls grazed my shoulders, brushing my skin in a way that sent little sparks down my spine. I shouldn't be feeling this.
Not so strongly. Not so suddenly.
But the more I stood here, the more the boundaries inside me blurred. The line between who I was and who I wanted to be felt thinner than ever. My heart thudded. What did she do to me? I whispered, because I couldn't shake the way my body felt, too sensitive, too soft, too responsive. My chest felt warm with every breath. My skin felt different under my fingertips. And the estrogen bottle, my stomach twisted again. Could touching it really have done something? Could the pills be something else entirely? Something stronger? Something secret? Something meant for me? I swallowed hard, throat tight. A knock echoed, this time from the bathroom window. Not loud, just the wind rattling the frame. But my body reacted instantly. I jumped back, hand over my chest.
No. Stop. Breathe.
It's nothing. But even the smallest sound made me feel exposed. Vulnerable. Breakable. I needed to get out of my own head. I walked back into the bedroom, slowly at first. My bare feet sank into the carpet. The dress slid over my thighs with every step, whispering against my skin. The sensation made me shiver. I sat on the edge of the bed and let my fingers run down the soft fabric.
Pastel pink.
Smooth texture. Almost romantic. I picked out this dress months ago, but never had the courage to wear it. Tonight, I felt like the dress chose me. Another wave of warmth pulsed through my stomach, soft but deep, like something waking up inside me.
No.
No, calm down. I curled forward, arms wrapped tight around my waist. Maybe I was imagining it. Maybe it was adrenaline. Maybe. I froze. My phone vibrated again. A new text from Isabella. Everything okay? Feeling off lately, hope you're alright. I blinked at the screen, my mind spinning. She noticed? She felt something? She sensed I wasn't the same? My heartbeat kicked up. Did she know I dressed up whenever she wasn't home? Did she suspect something changing in me? Or worse, was she changing me on purpose? I squeezed my eyes shut, shaking my head. No, that's crazy. But the thought didn't go away. Isabella was the type of person who paid attention. She noticed every tiny shift, every subtle expression, every change in tone. She once said, "People tell you everything without speaking, if you listen right." And she had been listening for weeks. I stood up again, pacing the room, the dress swishing lightly. Every movement reminded me I wasn't dressed as Evan. Every movement made me more aware of the girl inside, me pulling forward. A sudden vibration made me jolt.
My phone again.
This time, a picture. From Isabella. A photo of her holding her makeup bag open, smiling, captioned. Guess what I'm reorganizing tonight? My blood ran cold. Was she teasing? Was this a message? A hint? A warning? Or was she just being playful? I had no idea anymore. My fingers shook as I lowered the phone. I sat in front of the mirror again and picked up a makeup brush without thinking. My hand moved on its own. Light strokes, gentle touches. I wasn't trying to make myself prettier. I was trying to feel real.
Trying to see what Isabella saw.
Trying to understand what she might be planning. Then, as the brush glided over my cheek, another thought hit me. What if she wasn't trying to expose me? What if she was trying to help me? The idea was dizzying.
Terrifying.
Beautiful. Isabella had always been supportive in strange ways. She encouraged me to be expressive. She joked that I was prettier than half her girlfriends. She bought skincare for me, without asking. She told me I'd look cute with longer hair. Was it a joke? A hint? A desire? Or an invitation? My cheeks warmed at the idea. I imagined Isabella coming home, seeing me like this, not angry, not disgusted, but smiling that soft smile she only used when she wanted me to be vulnerable. The thought made my breath catch. My stomach fluttered. My pulse raced. I shook my head.
No. Don't think about that.
Don't. Too late. The image was already burned into me. My shoulders relaxed. My eyes softened. The girl in the mirror looked hopeful. I pressed a hand lightly to my throat, feeling how soft my voice sounded when I whispered. Maybe she already knows. A knock echoed from the front door again. My blood froze. Not loud. Not frantic.
Just a single, solid knock.
I stood there, breath held, heart in my throat. The second knock followed.
Slow.
Purposeful. Someone was at the door. Someone who wasn't leaving. My hand flew to my mouth. Isabella? But I couldn't be sure. And the dress, the makeup, the wig, my flushed cheeks, my trembling voice. I wasn't ready for anyone to see me like this. I wasn't ready. But the knocking came again. This time with a voice. Evan, open up. I didn't realize how fast everything was escalating until it was too late. At first, it was supposed to be the usual routine. Put on the dress, wig, Heels, calm myself down, enjoy the thrill quietly, then put everything back exactly where I found it before Isabella came home. But today felt different. There was a strange heat in my body, an overwhelming softness in my chest, and a weird fluttering like butterflies trapped behind my ribs. I chalked it up to adrenaline. Maybe nerves. Maybe guilt. But something wasn't right. I caught my reflection again. My cheeks looked a little flushed. My lips looked fuller than usual, like I had already applied gloss even though I hadn't gotten that far yet. My skin had a strange glow, warm and smooth. What the hell? I whispered. I leaned closer to the mirror. My face looked different.
Softer.
My jawline less sharp. My lashes longer. Almost like I was wearing subtle makeup even though I wasn't.
No.
No way. Impossible. But then I remembered. The bottle. The unlabeled pink pills I found in Isabella's drawer earlier, thinking they were just supplements or some beauty vitamins. I only took one because I thought it would calm my nerves. My heart dropped as the realization hit me like a punch. What if they weren't vitamins? My hands trembled. The earlier warmth surged through me again, like liquid silk running under my skin. Okay, calm down, I muttered, trying to convince myself. You're just imagining things. It's just anxiety. It's just the lighting. But the more I tried to push it aside, the more obvious the changes became. Even my voice sounded a little different, but maybe that was just panic tightening my throat. Maybe. I needed to distract myself, to regain control. So I turned back to the vanity and forced myself to continue the transformation, hoping routine would ground me. I slipped on the floral dress, soft, flowing fabric hugging my body differently than usual. It clung to my waist as if I had curves. I froze. That has never happened before. Usually the dress hung loose, oversized, something I had to pin tight to pretend it fit. But today, it fit almost perfectly. The feeling shouldn't have excited me. It should have terrified me. But the truth? A tiny part of me felt a spark. Dangerous, thrilling. I reached for the concealer and foundation next. As I blended it into my skin, it melted flawlessly, like my face had been waiting for makeup its entire life. Each stroke of the brush felt intimate, grounding me, shifting me deeper into someone I barely recognized, yet somehow wanted to be. But every few minutes, that warmth pulsed through my body again, reminding me that this wasn't normal. When I stood up to step into the heels, I nearly gasped. Not because the heels were new, but because they felt natural, balanced, like my legs had adjusted. Like I had done this 1,000 times despite only doing it a handful of nights when Isabella worked late. What is happening to me? I whispered as I looked down at my legs. They looked slimmer.
Smoother.
More defined. Panic clawed at my lungs. I grabbed my phone, tempted to call Isabella, to confess everything, to ask what the pills were, to beg her to come home. But then reality hit me again like a slap. If she came home now, she'd see me in full dress, makeup, wig, in heels, transformed, trembling, unsure of myself. She'd learn the truth in the worst way possible. And if the pill was what I feared, then she'd know what I had taken. She'd know what I had found. She'd know what I was turning into. I couldn't risk that. I needed answers before she came home. I paced the room, heels clicking sharply on the wooden floor, each sound echoing my panic. I grabbed the drawer again, pulled it open, and yanked out the bottle. No label. No instructions. Just a soft pink color and a faint floral smell. I desperately shook the bottle. Nothing. No clue. No help. No answers. But then a memory punched through the fog. A few weeks ago, Isabella was on a call with someone, whispering about an experiment, side effects, and unexpected changes. I had assumed it was for her job, some client stuff she always kept private. Now I wasn't so sure. My breathing grew shallow. What did I swallow? I whispered. What did she have in here, and why? I sat on the chair again, forcing myself to steady my thoughts. My hands gripped my knees, trying to stop the trembling. I felt caught between two worlds, fear and excitement, reality and fantasy, the man I was and the woman I appeared to be rapidly becoming. And then, worst timing possible, My phone buzzed. A message from Isabella. Hey baby, finished early. Might come home soon. Traffic is light today. My heart stopped.
No, no, no.
This couldn't be happening.
Not now.
Not while my face looked like this. Not while the dress hugged my newly softened curves. Not while my voice trembled in a pitch that didn't feel entirely like my own. I stared at my reflection, panicked, transformed, glowing. If Isabella walked through the door in 20 minutes, she wouldn't find me cross-dressing. She'd find something else. Something more. Something I didn't understand yet. A knock sounded downstairs. I froze. My blood turned to ice. It wasn't Isabella. She would have texted. Someone else was at the door. Someone who could see me like this. And I wasn't ready. The knock came again, louder this time. 3 slow, deliberate taps that echoed through the quiet house like they were aimed directly at my heartbeat. I didn't breathe. I didn't even blink. For a moment, I just stood there in my heels, dress hugging my altered body, makeup half set on my still softening face, staring at the bedroom door like it could protect me from whoever was downstairs. Another knock. I flinched so hard my wig nearly slipped. No, not now, I whispered, clutching the vanity table to steady myself. My mind spun wildly. Who could it be? A neighbor? Delivery? Someone from work? Someone who shouldn't see me like this. I crept out of the bedroom, heels muffled on the carpet, and peeked down the staircase. The front door's frosted glass made a blurry silhouette of a person standing outside.
Tall. Broad.
Definitely not Isabella.
A man.
Panic clawed up my spine. My instincts screamed at me. Don't open it. Don't go near it.
Hide. Run.
Lock yourself in the bathroom. But another fear, one more terrifying, whispered back. What if they look through the windows? What if they call out? What if they recognize your car in the driveway? I swallowed hard and tiptoed closer. That warmth from earlier pulsed through my body again, stronger this time, like a wave rolling under my skin. My thighs felt tighter. My waist. I didn't want to think about it.
Focus.
Just focus. Another knock. Hello? Anyone home? A man's voice called out.
Deep.
Familiar. Oh no. My stomach dropped. It was Liam, our neighbor. Polite. Friendly. Always borrowing tools or asking if we'd seen his cat. A nice guy. A nice guy who could not see me like this. I froze halfway down the stairs, gripping the railing hard enough to hurt. My voice, my slightly softer, unfamiliar voice, whispered back at me. Please go away, please go away. But Liam didn't go away. Instead, he made it worse.
Hey.
I found a package for you two at my door. Thought I'd drop it off. It's kinda heavy, so mind opening up? A package.
Right.
Isabella mentioned she ordered something huge. Some testing equipment for her skincare clients. But why did he bring it now? Today of all days? I backed up a step, breathing shallow and fast. My heels wobbled. My knees shook.
Think.
I couldn't answer the door. But if he left the package outside and Isabella came home early, she'd immediately ask why I didn't bring it in. And I couldn't tell her the truth. Another warmth ripple ran through my torso. My chest tingled, uncomfortably tight. I pressed a hand there, hoping it was just nerves, not growth. Not yet. Not today. The dress clung a little closer. I squeezed my eyes shut. Okay, I whispered. You can do this. Just grab the box after he leaves. Just stay quiet and... The knock turned into a loud thud. He was trying to open the unlocked outer screen door. My heart jumped to my throat. I scrambled back into the living room, trying not to trip in the heels. My legs shook violently. Everything inside me screamed, run. But I couldn't run anywhere. I was trapped in my own house. In my own skin that didn't even feel fully mine anymore. Then, silence. I froze. Maybe he left? I crept slowly toward the peephole, every step a thunderstorm of panic. I looked through. Empty. He was gone. Relief washed over me so quickly I nearly collapsed against the door. Then I saw it. A huge brown package sitting directly in front of the door, blocking it. If Isabella came home early, she'd see it instantly. She'd wonder why I didn't bring it in. Maybe she'd already suspect something. Maybe she'd planned something all along. I inhaled sharply and unlatched the door. Just grab the box, pull it inside, close the door, simple. But the moment I opened it, oh, hey, I screamed. Liam wasn't gone. He was right there, coming down the driveway. He turned around, smiling politely. And then his smile froze. His eyes widened. At me. At the floral dress. At the heels. At the soft wig hair falling over my shoulders. At my glossy lips and flushed face. At the unmistakably feminine silhouette I was slowly becoming. Oh, he repeated, stunned. Sorry, I didn't mean to. My body went cold and hot at the same time. I tried to slam the door, but the package wedged against it, blocking it halfway. Liam held up his hands. No, it's okay. I wasn't trying to snoop or anything. But he'd already seen everything. My transformation. My secret. My panic. And then, to make everything 10 times worse, my voice cracked in a soft, unmistakably feminine tone. It's not what it looks like. Liam blinked.
Oh,
Okay.
sure. Yeah, totally. It was exactly what it looked like.
My cheeks burned. My body trembled. That strange warmth pulsed again, as if responding to the stress. I leaned forward, trying to pull the box inside quickly just to end the nightmare, but the heels wobbled under me. My balance shifted. My knees buckled. I would have fallen if Liam hadn't grabbed my arm. The moment he touched me, I jolted like lightning struck my skin. His grip was gentle. Too gentle. Too aware that he was touching someone who now felt undeniably feminine. You okay? He asked quietly. I didn't answer. I just snatched my arm back, yanked the box inside, and slammed the door shut hard enough to rattle the frame. Then I slid to the floor, panting, shaking, mortified. My phone buzzed. A new message from Isabella. On my way, now, be there soon. I stared at the glowing screen in horror. Liam had seen me. My body was changing. And Isabella was minutes away. And I had no idea which truth would hit me first. I stayed on the floor, back pressed against the bedroom wall, chest heaving as though I had run a marathon. My body was trembling, not just from fear, but from the strange warmth surging through me again. Liam had seen me. My secret. Everything I had tried to hide. And the worst part? It wasn't just the fear that consumed me now. It was a bizarre, undeniable thrill that I couldn't ignore. The pink pills in the drawer came to mind again. One small dose. That's all I had taken. And already, the way my body felt, the softness in my chest, the tingling along my skin, the subtle curves that hadn't been there before, it wasn't subtle anymore. I touched my collarbone lightly. Electric.
Alive.
My fingertips tingled like the skin itself was whispering to me. I had to see. I needed proof. I staggered to the mirror again, heels wobbling under my still weak knees. My reflection made me catch my breath. The dress hugged my waist in ways it never had. My chest had a gentle rise that felt strange, unfamiliar, but not unpleasant. My hair fell in soft curls over my shoulders. My lips were glossy and full. My eyes, they looked wider, softer, vulnerable, yet somehow more alive than ever before. It terrified me. I pressed my hand to my face, tracing my jawline, my cheekbones. They felt different, softer, rounder. Could a single pill really do all this? I sank slowly onto the vanity stool, tugging the hem of the dress over my thighs, pressing my palms into my knees as I tried to steady the storm inside me. My phone buzzed again. Another text from Isabella. Home in 5, can't wait to see you. 5 minutes. I was paralyzed. Not just by fear, but by the thought of being caught like this. The thought of Isabella stepping through the door, finding me fully, her little experiment, maybe? The knocking at the front door from earlier still echoed in my mind. Liam had seen me. My secret. The truth about the girl inside me that nobody else knew. And now, Isabella. I shivered. The tingling warmth moved again, deeper, more insistent. My fingers traced the soft fabric over my thighs, over the gentle curve of my hips. Every movement was amplified in ways I had never felt. My chest rose and fell with a sensitivity I didn't know was possible. I had to breathe. I had to calm myself. But each breath only reminded me of the thrill, the vulnerability, the undeniable pull of something inside me that I'd spent years hiding. I thought about everything. The late nights dressing in secret, the way makeup felt on my skin, the sensation of heels shaping my legs, the soft brush of wigs on my shoulders. All of it came together now, and I felt awake. Fully awake, like a part of me that had been dormant was finally alive. Was this what Isabella wanted me to feel? Was it a test? Or was it simply the hormones working their subtle magic? I didn't know. The sound of the front door opening downstairs made my heart jump into my throat. Isabella was home. I froze in place. My reflection stared back at me, soft, feminine, transformed in ways I couldn't deny. My hands rested on my thighs, shaking. My breath came shallow. My heartbeat thundered through my chest. And then, almost as if on cue, the warmth surged again. My chest felt heavier, fuller. My skin tingled. My lips parted slightly. My reflection in the mirror was no longer just a reflection. It was a promise, a glimpse of something I could no longer ignore. The knock on my bedroom door came next. Slow, deliberate. Isabella's voice, soft but knowing. "Evan, can I come in?" My stomach twisted. My legs trembled. My mind raced. I wasn't Evan anymore, not fully. Not tonight. Not after the pills, the dress, the makeup, the heels. Not after Liam had seen me. I pressed my hands over my chest, trying to steady myself, trying to reclaim some part of the man I used to be. But the girl in the mirror, the girl I had always kept hidden, she was rising to the surface. She wanted to be seen. She wanted to exist. I swallowed hard, feeling the full weight of my transformation, both physical and emotional. And with a trembling voice, I whispered, I don't know if I can hide anymore. The silence on the other side of the door was heavy, pregnant with curiosity and something else, something I couldn't quite name. Minutes passed. Then a soft laugh. Not cruel, not teasing, but warm, knowing, and full of anticipation. "Good," Isabella said, voice sweet, almost teasing. "Because you don't have to." My heart slammed against my ribs. My pulse raced. My chest felt impossibly full. My body tingled, alive in ways I hadn't known were possible. For the first time, I realized this wasn't just about hiding anymore. It wasn't about fear. It wasn't about secrecy. It was about discovery. About embracing something I had always kept buried. The warmth surged again, deeper, more insistent. I let out a shaky breath and finally met my own eyes in the mirror. The transformation was complete. Not just my body but my mind, my desires, my identity. And there was no going back. The door creaked open slowly, just enough for a sliver of light to spill into the bedroom. Isabella's shadow appeared first, tall, confident, smiling that faintly knowing smile that made my chest twist. I froze in place, every muscle tight. My hands hovered over my thighs. The warmth still pulsed, lingering from the pills. My reflection in the mirror no longer felt separate from me. It was me, more alive, more vibrant, more undeniably feminine. "Hey." Isabella's voice was soft, teasing, but edged with curiosity. "Wow, you weren't kidding tonight." My mouth opened, but no words came out. Only a shaky breath. She stepped in closer, tilting her head, examining me. My chest rose and fell faster. My fingers dug into the sides of the dress, trying to anchor myself, but nothing could stop the racing in my veins. "You look different." She paused, stepping just enough closer to see the subtle curves, the softening lines, the delicate features the estrogen pills had intensified. "Is this how you've been feeling?" I swallowed. The words caught in my throat. The thrill, the fear, the embarrassment, the excitement, they all collided in one impossible knot in my chest. I didn't. I. My voice cracked. The soft, feminine edge surprised me. I had never sounded like this before. Isabella raised a brow, crossing her arms.
Wow.
That's the lot. The moment stretched. My heart pounded so loud it drowned out every other sound. My skin tingled, alive in ways I had never felt, each nerve vibrating with raw sensitivity. Every soft fold of the dress against my skin, every touch of my hair brushing my shoulders, made me acutely aware of my body. And she noticed. Her eyes softened, studying me as though she was seeing me for the first time, and maybe the first time truly understanding. "You're beautiful," she said quietly. Her words hung in the air, heavy and intimate. "Not just this, but all of it. The secret you've been hiding." My stomach fluttered. My knees wobbled. My fingers dug into my thighs. I wanted to disappear, to run, to vanish into the wall. But part of me, part of the girl reflected in the mirror, wanted this. Wanted her words. Wanted to be seen. Wanted to exist. I took a shaky step backward. I didn't mean for you to see like this. "Maybe you weren't supposed to hide it anymore," Isabella replied, stepping closer. Her voice was soft but commanding. "Maybe that's why I brought you the surprise." I blinked. My mind raced. Surprise? The pills? The hormones? The changes I could feel pulsing through my body? Could she have done this intentionally? She tilted her head, a playful glint in her eyes. "You're not scared of me, are you?" I shook my head, but my lips trembled. My body was reacting in ways I hadn't anticipated. My chest warmed, my thighs tingled, my pulse raced, and every breath felt electric. "No," I whispered. I don't think I am." But my fingers fumbled at the hem of the dress. "I don't know if I'm ready for this." She smiled, gentle, almost teasing. "You don't have to be ready. You just have to be." I felt the warmth surge again, deeper this time. My chest rose in soft, unfamiliar ways. My reflection in the mirror, myself, stared back, alive, undeniable, feminine in a way I had only dreamed of in private. And now I couldn't hide it. The sound of a key turning in the front door downstairs made my stomach flip. Liam. He hadn't left entirely. Or maybe someone else had arrived. Panic gripped me. Isabella noticed my sudden tension. "Sure," she whispered, gliding closer, placing a hand on my shoulder. "No one else matters right now. It's just you, and me." Her touch made the tingling in my body surge again, overwhelming, almost intoxicating. My heart raced faster, my chest heaved. I felt the dress hug me tighter, my skin hypersensitive, my identity finally breaking free in ways I had only dreamed of. I don't know what's happening to me," I admitted, voice soft, trembling. I feel different." She smiled, almost knowingly. "That's the point." Her hand lingered on my shoulder, warm, grounding. I could feel the softness in her fingers, the heat radiating. Every pulse, every tingle, every shiver inside me screamed that I was no longer the person I used to be. And I didn't want to be. I looked into her eyes, desperate, confused, and curious. The reflection in the mirror, soft, glowing, feminine, looked back at me, begging for acknowledgement, for acceptance. "Do you like her?" I whispered, my voice cracking. The girl I had hidden all these years, the one coming alive thanks to her, the pills, the dress, the heels, wanted to know if Isabella accepted her. Isabella's gaze softened. "I don't just like her," she said slowly. "I love seeing her. You. Both of you." My breath caught. My pulse raced. The warmth pulsed again, more intense than ever. Every fiber of my being quivered with vulnerability and excitement. I couldn't deny it anymore. I wanted this. I needed this. But then a sudden, unexpected sound. A knock. Heavy. Deliberate. From downstairs. We both froze. It wasn't Isabella's soft tone anymore. It was forceful. Someone was at the door. Someone could see. Someone could ruin everything. Panic hit me like a tidal wave. My body reacted before my mind could. My chest rose and fell, hypersensitive. My reflection, the girl I had finally accepted, shivered under the thrill of danger. And Isabella, calm yet fierce, whispered, "Don't worry. I've got you." The warmth surged one last time, deeper, undeniable. My body, my mind, my identity, everything I had kept hidden for years, was no longer just mine. It belonged to this moment, to her, to the transformation I could no longer hide. And as the front door rattled with a new knock, my pulse screamed. The suspense, the thrill, the vulnerability, it was only beginning. I woke up with my makeup still on. My lashes felt heavy, and my hair, soft, curled, styled, spread over the pillow like I was some doll left behind overnight. For a second, I didn't recognize myself. When I finally opened my eyes, the door creaked. And standing there, her mom, fully dressed, smiling, holding a shopping bag. "Good morning, sweetheart," she said sweetly. Sweetly, but with that tone. The tone that meant I had no say in whatever was about to happen. I sat up instantly. "And Mrs. Collins? What's going on?" She walked in and sat beside me, brushing my hair off my shoulder as if I were her daughter. As if I had always been her daughter. "I think you're finally ready," she said quietly. "Ready for what?" I whispered. She handed me the bag. Inside was a dress. Not a casual dress. Not cute. Not playful. A formal, elegant, body-shaping gown. Deep red, silky, with a slit and a neckline that screamed attention. My heart stopped. "I can't wear this," I said immediately. But she didn't let me finish. "You will, sweetheart." Then she lifted my chin. "And you're going to own it." Her mom's reason, the one I didn't see coming. She stood up and paced slowly. "You know," she began, "I raised my daughter alone. I fought hard. I sacrificed everything. And when she started dating," she paused, turning toward me. "I promised myself that the person she chose would be strong, brave, someone who could handle life." I swallowed hard. My throat felt tight. "So you turned me into a girl?" She nodded softly. "At first it was a test." My stomach dropped. "A test to see how far you'd go for her. For our family. For love." I felt my pulse beating behind my ears. "But then," she continued, stepping closer, "I saw something in you. Something you've never seen in yourself. Softness. Strength. Beauty. Potential." She placed her hands on my shoulders. "And now, I want the world to see it too." "What do you mean, the world?" My voice cracked. She smiled again. Too calmly. "We're going out today." I froze. "Where?" She tilted her head. "Brunch. Shopping. And then a visit to someone very important." I felt my whole body tense. "Who?" "Someone who's been wanting to meet my daughter." The rehearsal of a girl I never meant to be. Before I could react, she pulled out makeup brushes, palettes, lipsticks. "Move your hair back," she said. It wasn't a request. She applied primer, foundation, softened my jaw with contour, lifted my cheekbones with highlight. Every stroke changed me, pushed me further, erased more of the boy I had been. At one point, my breath shook and I whispered, "Why are you doing this to me?" She didn't stop blending, didn't pause, just said quietly, "Because you look happier like this, sweetheart. Even if you don't see it yet." And the terrifying part? For one split second, I didn't know if she was wrong. The gown and the moment that broke me. When she zipped up the red gown on me, I sucked in a breath. Not because it was tight, but because the mirror showed someone I didn't recognize. A woman. Beautiful. Terrified. Me. She placed a necklace on my collarbone, adjusting it like she'd done it 1,000 times for her real daughter. Then she whispered, "My pretty girl." That was it. Those words. That tone. My knees nearly buckled. "Mrs. Collins, please. I can't do this outside. I'm not ready. People will stare. They'll know I'm..." She pressed a finger to my lips. "No one will know anything. Not with how stunning you look." She tilted my chin higher. You pass better than half the girls out there. Trust me. My hands shook. She took them in hers. You're not just passable, sweetheart. She smiled gently. You're beautiful. I felt tears burning my eyes. Not from joy. Not from pride.
From fear.
I don't want to go out like this, I whispered. She kissed my forehead. Yes, you do. Deep down, you've already accepted this. And when she said that, something inside me shattered, because a tiny part of me wondered,
Was she right?
but the real shock came next. Just when I thought it couldn't get worse, she grabbed her phone. I'm texting your girlfriend, she said. She's going to meet us later. My blood went cold.
No.
No, please, don't let her see me like this. She'll think I'm crazy. She'll think you force me. Oh, sweetheart. Her smile deepened. She already knows. I froze. My girlfriend
Knew?
She agreed to this, her mom said softly. She's the reason this started. The room spun. My legs felt weak. My breath turned shallow. She wanted me to help you. She wanted you to grow. She wanted you to experience this. I felt my heart stop. But she doesn't know, her mom added, voice lowering. How far you've already come. Then she winked. That part will be our little surprise. My whole body trembled. She's going to see you today, her mom said. The real you. The girl you're becoming. And as I stood there, in heels, in a red gown, wearing makeup I could barely breathe under,
I realized.
I wasn't going to stop this. I wasn't strong enough to fight back. Not anymore. Her mom placed her hands on my hips and whispered, Ready, sweetheart? I didn't answer, because I wasn't. But she took my silence as a yes. And then, she opened the front door. The sunlight streamed through the front door, catching the red of the gown and making it shimmer in ways that felt almost magical. My reflection in the mirror, a girl I'd barely recognized, stared back at me, full of vulnerability and fear. And then, the sound of a car pulling into the driveway made my heart leap into my throat. Isabella. She was early. I tried to steady myself, my heels clicking softly on the polished floor as I adjusted the gown one last time. My hand shook. My chest rose and fell rapidly with every anxious heartbeat. The warmth still pulsed through my body, intense, uncontrollable, and completely unfamiliar. Her mom, calm and composed, stood behind me. She didn't say a word, only gave my shoulder a gentle squeeze. That small gesture was all I needed to realize. I was not alone in this. Then the front door opened. There she was, Isabella. Her eyes widened instantly, not with judgment, not with confusion, but with something else. Something I wasn't ready for. Oh, she whispered, taking a small step inside. I froze, my breath catching in my throat. My reflection in the mirror now mirrored my panic. Every inch of me, from the soft curls cascading down my shoulders to the subtle curves accentuated by the gown, was exposed. There was no hiding, no pretending. Her gaze traveled slowly over me. My hands clutched the sides of the dress, as if it were my lifeline. The warmth coursing through me intensified. I felt every nerve alive, every shiver magnified. Wow, Isabella finally said, her voice soft but shaking slightly with emotion. You look incredible. In that instant, my fear collided with something else, a strange, thrilling vulnerability. I could feel the shift inside me. The girl I had been hiding was now undeniable, alive, undeniable in a way that left me both terrified and exhilarated. Isabella, I whispered. I don't know if I can. Her hand reached out slowly, brushing a strand of hair from my face. My body reacted instantly to her touch. The warmth pulsed stronger, my chest heaved, and my knees trembled. Shush, she whispered. You don't have to say anything. I see you. All of you. And I love it. Her words wrapped around me like a blanket, yet they burned. Vulnerability surged through me, mingled with desire, fear, and anticipation. I wanted to shrink away, hide, and yet part of me wanted to lean into her gaze, to let her see me completely. Her mom stepped aside, a small smile on her lips. She's ready. You just have to embrace it. I swallowed hard, the gown tightening around me with every breath. The heels I had carefully balanced on now felt like they were anchoring me in place. My reflection in the mirror, the girl I had finally accepted, looked back at me, daring me to step forward. Are you sure? I whispered, my voice trembling, the soft feminine lilt unmistakable. Isabella's eyes softened. I've never been more sure of anything in my life. Her hand lingered on my shoulder, warm and grounding. I felt the pulse of my body respond in ways I couldn't control. The tingling in my chest, the shiver along my spine, the fullness in my cheeks, it was overwhelming. Yet, for the first time, I didn't want it to stop. I took a shaky step forward, then another, each one more confident than the last. My reflection mirrored my movement, my identity, my transformation, alive, undeniable, feminine. Then Isabella smiled fully, and in that moment, everything shifted. The fear, the shame, the panic, they melted into anticipation.
Desire.
Acceptance. Her eyes locked onto mine. Come here, she said softly. I stepped closer, each movement a battle between terror and thrill. My chest rose with every breath, my skin tingled with every touch of the gown. My reflection smiled back at me, alive, beautiful, complete. And then she reached for my hand, her fingers intertwining with mine. You're mine, she whispered. All of you. And I love it. The warmth surged again, more intense than ever. My body, my mind, my identity, all aligned with the girl I had been hiding, the girl now fully alive in front of Isabella. And yet, just as I thought I could breathe, just as I thought the tension had lifted, a sudden knock echoed from the front door. Liam. My heart froze. I looked at Isabella, panic overtaking me. He saw me before. What if? But Isabella smiled, calm, almost teasing. Then he'll see what I already know, she said. And it doesn't matter. Not anymore. The warmth surged, my chest heaved, my reflection glowed, and I realized there was no going back. I was her. I was the girl I had always hidden. And for the first time, I was ready to face the world. The knock echoed again, louder this time. A heavy, deliberate sound. The kind that made your stomach drop and your pulse explode. I froze. Isabella tightened her grip on my hand. Her mother stepped back, crossing her arms with calm confidence, like she had already predicted this moment. But I could barely breathe. The warmth in my body pulsed harder. My knees trembled. The soft fabric of the gown felt suddenly too tight, too revealing. I could see myself in the mirror, my curls framing my face, my lips slightly parted, my makeup flawless but shaken by fear. Knock. 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 It's him, I whispered, my voice cracking.
Liam.
He probably came back to check. What if he saw something earlier? What if he... Enough, Isabella said softly, stepping closer. Her hands cupped my cheeks, and instantly my body reacted. Heat rising, breath quickening, a tiny shiver sliding down my spine. You don't have to hide anymore. Not from him. Not from anyone. But what if? She leaned in, her forehead touching mine. You're mine. Let me handle this. Her mother nodded approvingly, almost like she was passing on a crown. And somehow, that terrified me more. Isabella walked toward the door. My heartbeat doubled. I clutched the skirt of my gown so tight my knuckles whitened. The door creaked open. There he was. Liam. My neighbor. My friend. Or maybe the exact person I should have feared the most. He looked confused, glancing past Isabella into the house. I think something's wrong, he said. I thought I saw someone inside earlier. A woman. I just wanted to make sure everything was okay. His eyes shifted, directly toward me. I felt the world collapse. His brows lifted slightly. Recognition flickered in his eyes. Not full understanding, but suspicion.
Curiosity.
Shock. Something dangerous. Isabella calmly stepped aside, inviting him in with a gesture so bold I nearly fainted. Come in, Liam, she said. Maybe you did see someone. No, Isabella, I whispered, stumbling back, my heels wobbling. But it was too late. He stepped inside. And then he froze completely. His eyes landed on me. I felt naked, even inside the heavy, shimmering gown. My cheeks burned. My lips trembled. The warmth in my chest pulsed uncontrollably, making every breath heavier, every inch of my skin hypersensitive. Wait, Liam whispered. Is that? Isabella stepped between us halfway.
But not to block me, to frame me.
Her hand lifted gently under my chin, tilting my face toward the light. And suddenly, there was no hiding. My reflection in his eyes. A girl. Full-bodied.
Soft.
Terrified. Beautiful.
Me.
Liam swallowed hard. I don't understand. I tried to speak, but the words died in my throat. My voice felt too fragile, too feminine, too exposed. Isabella answered for me. She's discovering who she is, she said simply.
She.
The word rattled through my bones. I wasn't sure if it burned or healed, but it changed something deep inside me. Liam blinked several times, staring at me with a mixture of shock and something else, something unreadable. Is this real? He whispered. I felt tears prick my eyes. Not sadness. Not fear. Something raw. Vulnerability. Yes, I whispered finally, my voice soft, shaky, undeniably feminine. This is me. The moment hung in the air, thick, electric, terrifying. And then, without warning, Liam stepped closer. Too close. I stumbled back, heels clicking in panic. The gown flowed behind me like liquid red. My heart hammered so hard it hurt. Stop, Isabella snapped, stepping in front of me again. Instantly protective. Fiercely territorial. Liam paused, hands raised slightly. Sorry, I'm not trying to scare anyone. He looked at me again. Longer this time. You look different. Really different. His tone wasn't mocking. It wasn't cruel. It was stunned, which somehow scared me even more. I should go, he muttered. I didn't mean to intrude. But just as he turned, Isabella's mom walked forward.
Not yet, she said.
There's something you should see. My breath caught in my throat. What was she doing? She walked to the table and grabbed the small bottle. The one that started everything. The estrogen. Her hand closed around it, and she turned to Liam with a calm, confident expression. Everything happening here, she said, began because of this. Liam looked stunned.
Confused.
Almost speechless. He glanced from the bottle to Isabella, then to me. My heart dropped.
No. No, no, no.
She wouldn't. She couldn't.
Not now.
But she did. She stepped aside, exposing me completely. The gown, the curves, the soft face, the trembling lips, the warm flush in my cheeks. This is who she's becoming, Isabella's mom said softly. I felt the room spin. Then, Liam's eyes widened. His lips parted, and he whispered a single word. Beautiful. Everything inside me stopped. Isabella stiffened. Her mom smiled slightly. And I forgot how to breathe. The warmth pulsed so intensely I thought I might fall. My vision blurred. My lips parted involuntarily. Beautiful. The first time anyone had called me that. But before I could react, before anyone could say another word, a phone buzzed.
Loud.
Sharp. Interrupting everything. It was Isabella's. She looked at the screen, and her face changed instantly. She went pale, eyes wide, jaw tight. It's my mother, she whispered, but she's outside. My blood froze. Isabella's mother was standing beside us. So who was calling? Before anyone could move, before we could make sense of anything, a shadow crossed the glass of the front window. A woman's silhouette. Strong. Familiar. Unmistakable. Isabella's real mother. The door handle turned. And my entire world, everything I had just accepted, everything I had just revealed, was about to shatter. The door handle rattled violently. My heart slammed against my ribs like a hammer. The shadow of Isabella's mother loomed large in the glass, and for the first time, I truly understood the meaning of being exposed. I froze mid-step. My reflection in the mirror, my girl self, my vulnerable, trembling, beautiful self, stared back at me. And for the first time, I felt entirely seen. Isabella's real mother stepped inside, her eyes narrowing as they scanned the room. She stopped abruptly, and her gaze landed directly on me. "Oh," she breathed. My stomach dropped. Her eyes weren't just surprised, they were sharp, calculating, almost predatory. The way she looked at me made my chest tighten painfully. The warmth in my body, the tingling from the estrogen, surged uncontrollably. My heart pounded so loudly, I thought she could hear it. "This isn't what I expected," she said slowly, voice low but commanding. "Mother," Isabella said immediately, stepping in front of me. "Please don't." But it was too late. Her gaze flicked between Isabella and me, and suddenly I realized my secret life, my hidden identity, my girl self, wasn't hidden anymore. Not from her, not from Liam, not from anyone in this room. She stepped closer. The air between us thickened, charged with tension. "You," she whispered. "This is your doing?" I swallowed hard, unable to speak. My body, soft and vulnerable in the red gown, shook. Every nerve ending felt raw and alive. I could feel the heat rising in my chest, the curves of my body sensitized, the tingling along my spine amplified 100-fold. "Yes," Isabella's mom said calmly, standing beside her daughter. "Everything started with a little push and a little help." "You helped him become her?" Isabella's mother's voice cut sharply, disbelief mingling with something darker. "Yes," her mother-in-law replied. "And she is perfect, beautiful, strong, exactly what she was meant to be." My pulse hammered in my ears. The estrogen warmth surged again, making my chest heave, my thighs tingle, my reflection glow. My lips parted. My reflection in the mirror, my girl self, looked directly at me, as if asking, "Can you survive this moment? Can you stand as her?" I didn't answer. Instead, the tension exploded. Liam's voice broke through the silence. She's... I don't even know what to say," he stammered, eyes wide. "I've never seen anything like this before." "Yes," Isabella whispered softly, wrapping a hand around my waist. "And now you're seeing what I see, who she really is." Her mom nodded approvingly. "Exactly." The air vibrated with unspoken truths, with energy so thick I could feel it pressing against my skin. My heels clicked on the floor as I took an unsteady step forward. I couldn't hide. I couldn't run.
Not now.
And then the impossible happened. Isabella's real mother stepped closer, her face softening slightly. She reached out, fingers trembling, almost touching my cheek. You're real," she whispered. The word hit me like lightning.
Real.
Not fake. Not a game. Not a disguise. Real. "Yes," I whispered, voice trembling. I'm me. All of me." Her mother blinked slowly. "I don't understand, but I see it. I see her. You are her." The warmth surged uncontrollably, coursing through my body. My chest rose, my face flushed, my legs shook. I could feel every inch of the girl I had always hidden, alive, undeniable, fully present. Isabella held me tighter. "She is mine," she whispered. "And I love her." The words wrapped around me like a blanket, shielding me from fear, but not from reality. The tension in the room, the shock, the disbelief, the awe, was suffocating. And then, the final blow. A phone buzzed from the kitchen. It was Isabella's text. "Mom, she's here. You need to see this. Now." I froze. My heart stopped. Her real mother's eyes narrowed. "She's calling someone? Who else knows?" Her mother-in-law smiled faintly. "Only those who needed to see. Only those who matter." My body reacted before my mind could. The warmth surged one last time, more intense than anything I had ever felt. My reflection in the mirror glowed, soft, powerful, feminine, alive. I was no longer hiding. I was no longer afraid. The door creaked open again. A silhouette appeared in the frame. Another set of eyes, curious, judgmental, yet fascinated. And the room went silent. All eyes on me. All at once, I realized there was no going back. The girl in the mirror, the warmth pulsing through me, the gown hugging my curves, the heels shaping my legs, the makeup highlighting every delicate line of my face. It was all me now. Fully. Unapologetically. And whatever happened next, I would face it as her. Because the transformation wasn't just physical. It was total. Identity. Emotion.
Desire. Fear.
Confidence. Vulnerability. I was all of it, and more. And as the room waited for someone to speak, for a reaction, for judgment or acceptance, I met my own eyes in the mirror. And I whispered softly, "I'm ready." The air felt charged, thick enough to choke on. For pairs of eyes were locked on me. Isabella. Her mother. Her other mother. Liam. And then the fifth silhouette stepped through the doorway.
Slow. Confident.
Unbothered by the tension that crackled in the room like a live wire. I clutched the railing behind me as the last figure stepped fully into the light. My world cracked open. It was my own mother.
She didn't speak.
She didn't blink. She just stared at me, stunned, confused, and yet somehow regretful. I couldn't breathe. The gown, the heels, the soft curls, the flushed warmth in my body. All the changes I had tried to hide for so long stood exposed under her gaze. Behind me, Isabella tightened her hand around my waist, grounding me. But even her warmth couldn't stop the way my knees trembled. "Mom," my voice cracked, high and soft, too feminine to deny. I can explain." She exhaled shakily. "Sweetheart, what have you done to yourself?" Everyone froze. Her voice wasn't angry. It wasn't judgmental. It was gentle. But it broke something inside me. Something fragile I'd been holding together with tape and wishful thinking. "I didn't do it alone," I whispered. Isabella stepped forward. "We helped her. Because she needed it." Her mother-in-law nodded proudly. This is who she was meant to be. My mother's eyes shimmered with confusion. "So, this is real?" I felt myself collapse inward. "I'm scared," I confessed. "But I'm also not. I don't know who I'm supposed to be anymore. I just know this feels right." Silence. Heavy. Terrifying. And then, my mother stepped toward me. Slowly. Tenderly. She lifted her hand toward my cheek. I closed my eyes, bracing for ejection. But her fingers brushed softly against my skin. "My baby," she whispered. "What have they done to you?" Isabella's mother stepped forward sharply. "Don't twist this. We didn't do anything." She finally saw her truth. Truth, my mother snapped quietly. Or influence. Or something worse. Liam shifted awkwardly. Should I leave?" Everyone ignored him. My mother cupped my face in both hands, searching my eyes. "Do you want this?" she whispered. Honestly, my breath caught in my throat. 1,000 emotions collided at once. Fear. Relief. Identity. Desire. Confusion. "I don't know," I whispered. "But when I'm like this, I feel alive." A tear slid down her cheek. Then everything exploded. She turned toward Isabella's mother. "What exactly did you give my child?" "Estrogen." The word echoed silently through the room like a bomb. Everyone knew it. No one dared say it. Isabella's mom lifted the small blue bottle in her hand, glassy, delicate, glowing under the light. "This," she said calmly. "The same thing she needed to feel whole." My mother's eyes widened in horror and fury. "You drugged my child with hormone medication. Without consent." The room froze. Liam's mouth fell open. Isabella's grip on me tightened like a reflex. "No one forced anything." Isabella's mother shot back. "She blossomed. She transformed. And you know it." My mother took a slow, trembling breath. Her gaze turned toward me again, pleading, desperate. "You have to stop," she whispered. "Before it's too late." Too late. The words pierced straight through me. My heart pounded so hard I could hear it in my throat. Everything I had become, everything I had embraced, everything I feared, balanced on the edge of those two words. And then, something inside me snapped. No, I shouted, louder and sharper than I expected. My voice rang through the room, cracking with emotion. It's too late to pretend I'm not her. Everyone froze. I stepped forward, heels clicking with a confidence I didn't know I had. I don't know what the future is, I said, voice trembling, but you all need to stop deciding for me. This is my life, my body, my identity. My mother's eyes filled with tears. Isabella's eyes filled with pride. Liam's eyes filled with something else, something unreadable. And Isabella's mom smiled. But before anyone could react, before anyone could speak, the estrogen bottle slipped from Isabella's mom's hand. It hit the floor, shattered. Blue liquid splattered across the tiles. And the moment it happened, the entire room gasped, because inside the broken bottle case, lying beneath the broken glass, was something none of us had expected. A second vial, unbroken, larger, stronger, labeled, advanced dose. Isabella inhaled sharply. Her mother went silent. My mother's face drained of color. Liam stepped back in shock. I stared at it, my heart pounding, my body warm, my future trembling in front of me. One more step, one more choice, one drop from that vial, and there would be no going back. Isabella whispered, trembling, "It's your decision." My hand lifted on its own, shaking violently, moving closer, closer, closer to the vial. Everyone leaned in, holding their breath. My fingers touched the glass, warm, trembling, alive, changing. And then, a loud, sudden gasp echoed from the door. We all turned. A figure stood there. One we didn't expect. One who could destroy everything. "What are you doing?" she whispered. The screen cut to black.